Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. I'm back. Woo! My name is Joanne. For anyone new here, I am the Director of Marketing and Life Training with Legendary Marketer. And we are kicking off another week of awesome guests. We have a returning guest today that I know you all will love to hear from as well. Before I bring him on, let's do a few housekeeping items, shall we? Good morning, Tanya. If you would like to get a quick notification right through Facebook, head over of when we go live each morning on Wake Up Legendary. Let me clarify. Let me add a little context to that, not just a random notification for you. Please head over to legendarymarketer.com/WUL. There you will get, it's just 5 notifications a week, one each weekday morning within about a minute or two of when we go live, with a quick description of the episode and the direct link to the live episode for you to join in, hop in the comments, and all of that good stuff. There's no other messages that happen there. No one else can message in there. So it's literally you join that broadcast room, and it is 5 messages a week, one each morning, which is pretty cool. So head over to legendarymarketer.com/WUL to join. And of course, if you are new here or you've been here and you want to check out our 5-day challenge, you're thinking about the blueprints, you want to hop on and join us at Mastermind, which we are filling up on, and I'm so excited about. We have our mentorship meetup planned Thursday night. We have our big party for everyone that's attending on Saturday night. It's in Austin, Texas at the end of January. And we also, not only do we have just a flat ticket price, but right now we have a payment plan ticket price as well, which is pretty cool. So if you head over to legendarymarketer.com/enroll, scroll down, find the mastermind button, tap that bad boy, and you'll grab all the details about mastermind right there, and get yourself in a room with like-minded people, have some fun. Everyone stays at the host hotel, so you're able to meet up for drinks, for dinner, for hanging out. Gosh, in New Orleans at one point, there was a bunch of us in the lobby it was like 11 p.m. and we were all talking like content strategy. It was really cool. I loved it. And those are those moments you get when you attend Mastermind. So all the details are easy to find. Head over to legendarymarketer.com/enroll. There you'll see a link to the challenge, to grab the affiliate marketing business blueprint, as well as check out all the details to join us at Mastermind. You can come to Mastermind whether you have had anything else. You don't have to have the blueprints first to grab this ticket. So anyone and all are welcome at Mastermind, which is fun. Sarah Thompson is in the comments, and she's like, get in the room, and it's like, heck yeah, because I know she has seen a lot of personal growth just by attending and then speaking, and she might be part of some of my announcements for upcoming with Austin, which is pretty cool too. A little teaser there, which I love. Oh, all right. Without further ado, please welcome Michael to the show. Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
Morning, Joanne. I am good. How are you?
I am doing well, ready to kick off the week. I had a good night's sleep, which is rare these days, I feel like. So let's do this.
Yeah.
So for those that are new here and may not have seen your first episode, can you give us that backstory, what you were looking for, how you fell into the online space to start with? And then we'll get into all the updates and what we've kind of been through since then. But how did you get started online?
Yeah, of course. And thank you for having me on the show again. I really appreciate it.
Definitely.
Yeah, so my first jump into the online space was a few years ago now. I started a digital marketing agency.
Mhm.
So my company at the time, we were running paid ads, doing lead generation for solar companies and roofing companies across America. At the peak, we had 10 employees. I was deep in the entrepreneur space. The reason I started that business was I was at a day job I hated. I just didn't see an end in sight. So wanted to try something in marketing because I just saw it being lucrative. I had no experience or background, no marketing degree. I just sort of dove right in.
Mhm.
And it was really challenging, managing a team, working very long hours, like 100-hour weeks sometimes to keep things going. And yeah, ultimately that business failed. It's a lot of times that happens with business. It just didn't work out. And from
Mhm.
there, what was great though, I learned a lot about the entrepreneurial mindset, being your own boss. I got that sort of ticket in, so you will. And
Mhm.
at the time, it was like when Instagram Reels were coming out, TikTok, and I started getting targeted with everyday people just posting videos. And I started looking into affiliate marketing, and this was like the beginning of 2023. And I was like, oh, these are people just posting content, and it looks interesting. So I was Googling and watching YouTube videos on like affiliate marketing, and I saw people selling digital products, and it was interesting. But I
Mhm.
never posted videos of myself. I didn't really put myself out there with my agency. I was just kind of the guy behind the scenes running the business. Um,
Right.
and yeah, from there, I eventually landed on legendary marketer. I was like, oh, this is a challenge, a course program community that teaches people how to do the core four, right? Affiliate marketing, digital products, masterminds, the four there. And yeah, I dove in, and it was just a very organized education. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's what you use funnels for, and email
Mhm.
marketing, lead generation, and it just sort of connected everything. Some
Mhm.
skills I had in my past, some I didn't, but it just gave me the confidence to launch my affiliate marketing, digital freelance marketing business. So you will. This was last November, so I've been doing this for 11 months now. But yeah,
Right.
that's how kind of started, got here. So
I love it. I love it. When you get into the online space, I want to. It's really there. Really is so many fingers you can go into, and
mhm.
agency work is one of those. But yes, there is a lot of people forget how many hours agency work takes and the amount of churn that happens with clients is a lot. There ends up being a lot of overhead, a lot of upkeep, a lot of how do I keep this client happy day in and day out? Um,
Yeah,
a lot of systems that have to be built into and put into place. And y- a your story with agency is something that's quite common where it's 100-hour weeks and you're still it it's not sustainable long term. So then you start to make changes and then you have clients that come in and out and it becomes a lot. Yeah, and I get that. But it's something that I, anyone that's learning the skills, it's still possible. It's an option for you to check out, right? In this online space and do. Um, but now you have that entrepreneur mindset. You already know what it takes. You already have that grit because you already went through it. But looking for something that fits your life, lets you be a partner, lets you be family eventually, whatever your goals are, be able to travel, whatever that may be, and get your income, your business, your job, your livelihood to fit into the life you want instead of it being the life that's forming for you is really the difference, huh?
yeah, 100%. And yeah, that's exactly it with the agency. I was losing clients faster than I was bringing them on. So it was like
Mhm.
sales, and then fulfillment, and it's I don't recommend it for somebody's first jump into entrepreneurship. It's really really difficult.
Yeah.
And digital freelance marketing, it's not easy, but it is more. It's more simple. You have a little bit more control of things. It's less hours. You can hold a day job, you could be with your family. There's people doing this who work 1 to 2 hours a day. They have systems that run the business for them and everything, and it's just there's longevity to it, right?
Right. Right. Yeah, there's you have more more control over it. Like you'll still need to put time into it every day. There's still going to be
Mhm.
work involved, but you can decide if it's going to be at 5 a.m. or 11 p.m. or 15 minutes throughout the day or big chunks throughout the day. And when you're
Yeah.
in an agency model, you don't get that freedom. You're kind of at the will of, I have to work all the time and making sure all my clients are happy. They're getting what they want. They asked a question. I got to reach out. It's that customer service element. And even when you start to do your own digital products, that customer service element starts to seep in. So you got to be ready to have those systems in place because you're adding a new layer to your business. Whereas if you are in affiliate marketing, you don't have to deal with all of that. The company that you recommend deals with that piece,
Yeah.
right? So it's always go into all of, like, never end one and start another, but slowly add, progress, grow your business, and um, build with purpose. How about that?
I
Expand
like
with
that.
purpose. So our in our title, we and you talked about this a lot in your questionnaire, is overcoming setbacks, how to turn your
Mhm.
challenges into wins. So share with us, in the last 11 months, what are some of the setbacks you've had, and how are you overcoming them? Because I think everyone has setbacks in their business. So how are you working through this? Because I know it'll help somebody that's watching right now.
Definitely. I mean, what I found is like the two hardest things when starting this digital freelance marketing business. The first thing is just starting, right? Like setting up your systems. You don't really know anything. So you like,
Mhm.
what's a funnel? I have to edit an Instagram or a TikTok reel and it's scary. Like that's definitely the hardest thing. But then the second thing after that is when things are good and you're getting views, you're getting sales. And I had just a lot of growth from like April to August. It was just like my following count doubled. I was getting sales, and when things are good, it's really easy to stay motivated and wake up, on a Saturday morning and batch reels, before my wife wakes up, and just have that strategy. It's easier. But going into September, for whatever reason, I had a slump. Right,
Mhm.
views were down, sales were down. And it was hard to find that intrinsic motivation to actually batch reels. I was posting 3 a day. Then I was like, I need to reduce this to 1 a day because my ideas aren't flowing. Chat GPT isn't helping. And
Mhm.
it was really hard. And one of the things that I think helped me was when I started this, I was like, failure's off the table. I'm never going to give up with this because there's enough proof out there of people, whether they've come through Legendary or they've just been in the online sort of digital content creation space
Mhm.
for a long time. It works, right? Period.
Mhm.
It works if you make it work. So if you give up, it's never going to work, right?
Right.
It's if you look at it like that, if you stop, you're going to stop growing. It's just not going to work. So,
Mhm.
um, and I what helped me overcome this slump, I always start with my why. Like the reason I started this kind of goes back to when I was young. I mean, my dad worked really long hours. He traveled a lot. I didn't really see him much growing up, which sucked as a kid. And my parents ultimately got divorced when I was a teenager, and some of that had to do with him just never being home. And I was like, my wife and I don't have kids yet, but in the next, not too distant future, that's going to be a reality for us to start our own family. And I don't want to be that dad who's locked in an office 10 hours a day
Right.
or traveling and
Yeah.
just missing milestones. I've heard powerful stories on Wake Up Legendary of parents who their motivation is they want to be with their kids more, right? So I'm trying to
Mhm.
get ahead of that. So it sort of ties back to my why. If I can build this up, I eventually can retire my wife first and foremost, and
Mhm.
she'll be able to, be a full time mom. And then from there, if this keeps growing, if I keep going, it's going to keep growing because again, I'm never
Right.
giving up.
Right.
Eventually, I can start to, move away from, my current day job. I'm in, remote sales right now. I'm taking calls 9, 10 hours a day sometimes, and it's fine right now, but I don't want this to be my reality until I'm
Right.
60, whatever the retirement age will be in the future,
Right.
80 years old, right?
Mhm.
So it started with the why, and then from there I kind of moved back into just looking at my entire strategy. Then I get a little bit more technical with it. How I got out of the slump after the why, which I think is the most important piece. If you're watching this and you're in a slump, just think about why you started this in the first place. And a lot of times it'll come back to family, some sort of freedom, right? Just try to get that figured out, because that why is going to help you get over the slumps when business gets hard. But then for me, I just spent a weekend just scrolling on Instagram Reels. I let the algorithm just target me with content that's working, people I resonate with. And I followed a couple of people. I saved a bunch of reels, and I was like, that's a good idea. And
Mhm.
I call it funnel hacking. So I would go to their page, I would click on their link in bio, subscribe to their email, read their ebook, just see how they engage with their audience. And very quickly I found a key piece that was missing with my strategy was the connection with my audience.
Mhm.
I've hit like almost 11,000 followers and thousands of email subscribers, which is really cool, right? So
Right.
I'm kind of shifting from that growth phase into like conversion, or the
Mhm.
connection phase, I'll call it. And I wasn't really posting on my story. I stopped doing talking videos because
Mm.
b-rolls were just easier with the day job to put together a
Right. Right.
4 to 7 second reel. So I just started seeing these creators who were maybe a year or two ahead of me. They were larger, and I'm like, oh, they do newsletters. They're going live once a week. They're
Mhm.
just posting on their story polls. Like, they're just engaging with their audience. And I just wasn't doing that at all. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, let's start with that. Let's put together a strategy. Let's make better content. Let's make a plan to engage with my audience. So, like, my goal in October now is to do more stories, newsletters, just the things that I'm seeing other creators do. The beautiful thing about Instagram or TikTok or any of these apps is you can just scroll, and the algorithm's going to just kind of show you things that it thinks will keep you on the platform longer. And
Right.
then you can just follow people and engage with them. So yeah, that was, to me, that was easier. You just see what successful people are doing, and model it.
Mhm.
And then it starts with the why for the motivation to keep going even when stuff gets hard, right?
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned a lot in there. We're gonna unpack some of it now because I want there was a lot of really, really juicy gold nuggets that I want to make sure everyone listening and watching grabs. And this is a common, you describe something that I actually see quite a bit is when people they start to feel some growth, some success, everything's going. And then at some point there is going to be, the entrepreneurship ride is always like this. And suddenly some start maybe getting some income behind it, and then they start enjoying that. They start making these small adjustments to their content. They're engaging a little bit less. They're posting a little bit less. They start going live a little bit less. The problem is that builds up over time. Or they go on a vacation because they're so excited they haven't had a vacation in years, right? Which I want you guys to do. Go take the vacation. But you can't come back with I can be more relaxed now. I can do less now. Because all of a sudden, 3, 4 months go by, and now they've dropped how much content they're putting out. They've changed their messaging. They've changed where their focus is. They're not putting in an hour or two a day. They're putting in 3 hours a week, and then going, crap, what the heck happened? Must be the offer. That's what changed. Must be this. Must be that over here. Must be the Instagram algorithm. Must be TikTok is refocusing things. And it's like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Are you doing exactly what got you to the point of where you wanted to be in the first place? Are you still doing that? And 9 out of 10 times, the answer is no. I'm not actually doing the same process, work, mindset, even mindset snuck in and started telling you things. So you changed your content altered what not to do. You altered what you were doing. And it's so important to sit back, put your ego aside, and go look at what other people are doing. Remind yourself of the work that needs to be done. And I love that you also, when you look at other creators, at what's working for them, you don't go into the, oh, I'm crappy, they're better than me mode. You go, okay, they did this. You make a list. Like, you're very scientific and not emotional about it. Because a lot of times people here, when they go and do research, as I like to put it in quotes, they end up talking themselves into that they're just a shitty creator and a shitty entrepreneur and end up in a deeper hole. So you've got to take Michael's advice that when you go look at someone else's stuff, when you funnel hack, when you opt in, don't look at it and go, oh, that ebook looks better than mine, I can't do this. You got to be like, oh, they added this. Let me see how I can add this same type of tone, the same angle with my own voice into my own stuff. It's all about putting your ego aside. And how do I continue to take action? What can I learn here? Instead of getting into the pity party and bullying yourself. Would you say you had those moments when you were looking at other people of comparing came in that kind of hit the ego and you had a little pity party, or was it always easy for you to stay looking at it like with the numbers and what can I learn from this?
It wasn't always easy. So I'll tie it back into when I started my agency. So my
Mhm.
first round of entrepreneurship, right? I was part of groups. I bought a course back then. And so there were like hundreds of other agency owners in there. And my first year of trying to scale up, I was always comparing myself, the comparisonitis, right?
Mhm.
And when I would do the funnel hacking back then, I would be like, oh, like they have a higher MRR than me. They have more employees. Their
Mhm.
landing page looks better. And then I would feel a little bit insecure about it.
Right.
But then how I overcame it, I was just like, oh, there's two paths here. I could either feel bad and either give up or just, yeah, have the pity party and just feel like crap, or I can just look at it, I think, like you said, scientific, right? And just say,
Mhm.
okay, well, they're here and I want to get there or ahead. Well, what are they doing that's working? And let's just take it, let's model it, let's make it work for me. So
Mhm.
I luckily I had that, like the entrepreneurial mindset I'll keep using with that to apply to this new business. So it was the same thing. I mean, you don't want to have the pity party. It's not serving you, right? Like, just
Right.
again, tie back to why you started this, right? Like, you want more of this. You want to spend more time with your family, your kids, whatever it is, right? And this is a path that can take you there. It's not guaranteed, right? But if you
Right.
put in the work, like, it's gonna get better and better. And part of it is just being scientific. Just look at other people's pages. I find it so helpful, following certain creators that I resonate with too. Um,
Mhm.
I try not to follow creators that I just don't resonate with. I think that helps as well, because sometimes people will just follow like everybody and get overwhelmed. It's like, find like 3 to 5 that are ahead of you that you're like, whoa, I feel like they're talking to me. Well, what are they doing? How? And
Right.
then get scientific. How often are they posting on their story? How many
Mhm.
reels a day are they posting? How often do they email? And yeah, just take that scientific approach, tie it into your why, and then just don't give up.
Right.
That's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. Just keep going.
And I'll add, if you're following someone that puts you in the thought process of comparing yourself to them, where you can't look at the process that they're doing and take that gold from it, instead you're like, oh, they're so much better at stories, I can't do this. If you're following someone that's actually talking yourself out of taking action, you need to unfollow that creator. They're not helping your growth, they're not helping your business. But if you can find other people that are out there that you can feel inspired and look at their stuff with your marketing glasses on, that's huge. And I love that you've been able to find those 3 to 5 people. You got a small little group and that's it, and unfollowed everybody else and you know how to view their stuff with your marketing glasses on and not into a place where it goes after your confidence, that goes after your self-worth, that goes after your motivation to keep going. Because
Mhm.
there are creators out there where people just watch their stuff and you're so envious that you end up not doing anything. You just end up scrolling through all of their shit for an hour and now you've wasted a day, right?
Mhm.
Um, so there's it's being very mindful, the word on TikTok these days, with a trend, being very mindful of where your headspace is as you're watching content, researching, checking things out, and improving your own stuff.
Mhm.
Mindset is just so big, so big. Yes, side hustle legends, mindful and demure. She got it. Right when I said it, that's all I could think of was that trend right now, which is funny. How do you feel like your confidence has grown from the point of taking the challenge to where you are now?
A lot. I was worried to post videos of myself on the internet. I was one of those where I didn't want like my mom and sister to just the algorithm to serve them my videos or friends and whatnot. Like, what is he doing posting these videos? So I like cared about what other people thought. Um, Another fear, I don't know, just that it like wouldn't work. I don't know. I had a negative connotation of influencers. Like when I ran my agency, and I got TikTok just to be updated with marketing trends, and it was the 2020 pandemic where all the like the dancing, the that's like what TikTok was in the beginning. And I was like,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm 34. I'm not old, but I'm also not like in that generation. So I was just like, oh, influencer. So I just had this sort of prejudged thought process around all of them. But then going through the challenge, it just sort of put everything together. And then a big part, a big thing I like about Legendary is the community, right? The Facebook
Mhm.
pages have, tens of thousands, or like 100,000 plus people, and there's
Mhm.
people of all different ages, right? The Wake
Yep.
Up Legendary show, I've seen like 80-plus-year-olds get interviewed.
Yep.
You know, teenagers to
Mhm.
20s, 30s, like every single decade, and it just makes you feel better. I'm like, oh, it's not just like young people or this type of person doing it. So there's the community aspect also gave me the confidence, and then you get confidence through action as well. The first video you post is not going to be the best. The 10th video you post is going to be a little less worse than that first one, and then the
Mhm.
100th you're pretty good at that point. You just have to keep going, sort of like learning how to drive a car. Formula One drivers were bad drivers the first time they ever drove a car when they were young, and they
Right.
just kept practicing and they got better at it.
Yeah, totally. And it's always there's always something new to learn. I said this last week and I love this analogy. Being an entrepreneur, being a digital marketer, it's like playing a game of Super Mario Brothers. There's always a new level you got to go after. Whether it's level 1 or level 20, there's something it's going to take a little practice. It's going to take a few tries to get through. You're going to have some roadblocks, some fails, some new things you got to learn that you still have to learn at level 20 that you didn't learn at level 1 because it just wasn't the right time for it, right?
Mhm.
And this is the same way. And we've got to be excited about getting to the next level and the new challenges at that level that come.
Mhm.
There's never and with confidence and our mindset, there's never a day it's done, like it's just achieved.
Mhm.
Never game over, most confident person in the world forever, right? That never happens. There's always a point where we got to keep always got to keep working on it,
Yeah.
and it kind of will sneak up on us like, oh crap, I haven't been working on that so much. Like you start to feel those negative thoughts like creep in slowly and go, right?
Mhm.
And it's such a work in progress, which is cool. I love how transparent you are in this journey. It's such a real relatable story. What
Yeah.
you go through. And you're right. Everyone here is at different ages. You don't have to dance online to be successful. You-
Yeah, you definitely don't have to dance. You can go to my Instagram page. Like I haven't done a talking reel even in months. I don't
Mhm,
dance in them. They're just normal B rolls of myself. You got to do what kind of jives with you. If you're into the dancing thing, cool. Like that confidence is going to translate through the screen. But if you're trying to do things and copying other creators, like if
mhm,
you're feeling a little bit awkward, consumers are smart these days. Like they'll see right through that and be like, oh, they're forcing it or they're coming off robotic. I know my first couple of videos, I was posting just, I was kind of copying creators that were ahead of me because I didn't really
mhm.
have a content strategy. And it was like saying like certain sound bites I heard that just did not sound natural to me. And then I'd rewatch it and I would cringe at myself, like the first 20, 30
Right.
videos I posted. So, yeah,
But you still post it.
I did. Yes.
And that's the key. That's what I hope everyone really grabs is Michael's sharing this really authentic experience of, yeah, I've had roadblocks, I've had mindset issues, I've had times where I said, "Ooh, that was a really bad video," and he still posted anyways. He still took the action. Still took the next step. He just went back and reviewed and went, "All right, what can I learn from this? How can I make it better? How can I feel more aligned with it? How can I feel better as I put out new content?" Instead of going back and deleting it all and feeling like you got to start all over, because that's been happening a lot. Or, oh, I didn't like the first 30 videos I posted, so I'm going to delete them all and start over. But there is something beautiful in letting people see your whole story online too, and being
Mhm.
able to scroll back and see those first videos, and see where you are now. There's a lot of proof in concept when people are able to do that,
Yeah, definitely.
which is cool. So you're on Instagram. Have you thought about going to other platforms? Are you on other platforms experimenting? Where are you at with being more omnipresent in your journey?
Yeah, so I've thought about making a TikTok and I haven't yet.
Mhm.
That may happen at some point, but right now what I've tried is Threads. Since
Uh-huh.
Threads came out, I like doing written content and whatnot. So I made a Threads and I posted a little bit. I haven't been consistent on it. It's more like testing the waters to
Yeah.
see how the short form written resonates.
Mhm.
Um,
I
and
love
then
that.
also yeah, and then also LinkedIn as well. Like I was writing blog
Mhm.
posts for a while as well, and I actually did get like a couple of conversions from it. So just writing articles on LinkedIn, posting it on my LinkedIn page. Um, so yeah, I tested a little bit of written, which was interesting. I don't have like conclusive data yet.
Mhm.
I need to be more consistent with it. I just did
Right.
like a month or two, and then I hadn't written an article in like 2 months, honestly. But
Mhm.
it's definitely something I want to test again because I don't see a lot of people doing it. Everybody is doing short form videos on
Mhm.
Instagram, TikTok, maybe YouTube Shorts right now.
Mhm.
But I haven't seen many people do that, so there might be an opportunity there, right?
Right, absolutely. And there was something you said everybody needs to pull. He enjoys writing. So I love that you found, well, this is what I can do that I feel good about doing. I don't feel like, oh, if you really, really just hate the platform TikTok or you hate Facebook, then yeah, what is it that you love, that you feel good about, that you want to put content out on? Go and do that. And Threads is an interesting place. Like we're seeing daily growth from it as far as followers. It is definitely something to keep testing there. Um, it's an interesting beast with my marketing hat on for sure.
Hmm.
And blogs just have always been here.
Hmm.
They kind of just keep coming back. They keep doing their thing. Um, and I agree. A lot of people are shying away because they're like, oh, it's just short form content. And there is a lot to be said about short form content, but there's also a lot to be said about those ongoing strategies that have always worked
Hmm.
longer than short form and to keep going after, which is cool. I would love to have you definitely keep posting on LinkedIn some blogs and let me know over time how that goes.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely curious with that one. We've had a few people do quite well with doing LinkedIn articles and posting there. But it takes just the right person and the right personality to hit that.
Hmm.
Because it is a different
Definitely.
it's a different beast than an Instagram reel for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. And just a quick note on threads too. I recommend everybody just starts scrolling on threads, like make
Mhm,
a threads, post on it. Because I really believe in what I think Mark Zuckerberg is doing as the owner of Meta. I just think just some history on it. He's coming out with holographic glasses, and his goal is to just tell Apple to go away. Like he doesn't want people on phones anymore. He's like, we're all going to have glasses, contact lenses, and that's going to be the medium that everybody consumes content through. And
mhm,
he's been at it for a decade. And Instagram is at like 2.5 billion users. Facebook, so I would not bet against Zuckerberg. So if he comes out with a Twitter competitor, or X that it's called now,
mhm.
definitely get on it and post and understand it, because following consumer attention is like one of the most important things that you can do with your business. Where are the eyeballs? Where are people spending time? And I
Mhm.
think that threads, Instagram, and even Facebook are going to continue to see a lot of growth over the next decade. So definitely don't count them out.
Yeah, I agree. Don't count them out. Go get I mean, yeah, go get yourself a Threads account. Go follow creators that are on there. Go follow Legendary. Go follow other people following Legendary. Follow our Wake Up Legendary guests and start playing with it. Have some fun. Be social on social and see
Mhm.
where it can take you. I agree. Because it is an interesting piece to the social game for sure at this point. Yeah. And they'll always at some point there's going to be something else that comes out. So we got to be ready to go, okay, is that something I want to give a try? Want to test it out, test the waters? Do I feel aligned with it? And be able, but we can't do that till we have those skills behind us to be able to go, all right, I'm going to test this platform out for a few months, see how it goes,
Mhm.
check it out. But if we don't have the knowledge first, it's really hard to do that of how to do it. So I love that you shared that for sure. So, last word of the day, I want you to have before we go today. What's your advice for anyone starting out with the challenge?
Advice for anyone starting out with the challenge: finish the challenge. It's 5 days long. There's amazing education in there, and it's like 5 hour plus videos, just jam packed full of value that Dave put together. Just get through the challenge. If you're overwhelmed, if it's scary, or like I don't know what a funnel or an email or a faceless or this, like it just go through the content. Talk to the guides, the advisors that they have here. They're all amazing people. They're really friendly. They're knowledgeable. They're there to support you. So just talk to them, get to day 5, get through the challenge, and your odds of actually starting are going to be much greater than if you get the challenge and don't go through it, which I know a lot of people do.
Yep. It's, and it's not just with us, it's with every education and digital
Yeah.
product out there. It's shocking how much people buy and never open
Yeah.
and never check it out. But then we'll go, oh, yeah, I have that. Wasn't great. I'm like, did you open it? Did you try it? Like, no, actually, I didn't even open it. Or they forget
Yeah.
that they even bought it a year ago and buy it again,
Yeah.
which is common as well. So it's like commit to 5 days to just check it out. I love that. It's perfect advice and really get a good grasp of what the online space is really about, what it involves, and see how you feel about it. Really. Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. I love it. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on, Michael. Thank you for coming back. And of course, you're welcome back as well. with another update. I'd love to see you continue to experiment on other platforms and give us that update next time for sure as well. How it went, how it's going, and all of that good stuff. And thanks for coming on nice and bright early this morning on a Monday.
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Joanne. I appreciate it as always.
Yeah, definitely. All right. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Bye.
All right, everyone, please go follow Michael on Instagram at Michael Z, the affiliate. So Michael, the letter Z, the affiliate. No spaces, no dashes, no nothing. All connected. Michael Z, the affiliate. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Comment on his stuff. Check it out. Engage. Let him know you saw him on Wake Up Legendary and all of that good stuff. You guys have been amazing in the comments. I did see somebody say earlier that they had a fake legendary marketer account messaging them. What's best to do is just grab the URL for that profile, send it to support. If it's a legendary marketer account, we can report it to Facebook. It's still up to Facebook. But ultimately, when a fake account messages you, just hit the block button. That's the easiest thing to do, is to just hit block on Facebook, and then they can never message you again. But you can definitely report it to support at legendarymarketer.com. That's the best thing to do there. Just send the URL to the fake page. Otherwise, it's in the Facebook hands. So it's best just to hit block and don't let them get in the way of your journey, your growth, and your engagement online. All right. That was a great show. There's always something to pull. I love it. I even saw somebody say, Wake Up Legendary is their daily mastermind. It really is. It is a daily mastermind on mindset, confidence, self-worth, taking action, and a good dose also, a good healthy dose of reality, expectations, what you can expect, common challenges that everyone goes through, so you don't feel so alone as you're coming up on those challenges in your own growth and in your own business. It really reminds all of us a lot of the things we go through is quite normal, and there is a way through it, around it, over it, and we're here to help you. Okay. So, and of course, the community is always here. I love today's message as well, Mike. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day. Please keep Dave and anybody, loved ones that are in the Tampa Bay area. They do have another hurricane that is coming this week, right towards them as they're in the middle of cleanup for the next. So please keep all of them in your prayers, that everyone is safe, unharmed, and gets through this next wave, a double hit that's coming after them, as we move through the week. But I will be here as needed, and I love chatting with all of you. And as always, stay legendary. Peace.